No, man, so Santa Barbara, we're here.
The glory land, son.
The glory land, you know?
The birth.
I think we should just go around real quick and just kind of talk about how do you even hear about Zero Hoots? How do you hear about 3PAC? We'll just start with Miggy Smalls and just work it around. Just a quick, little.
Yeah, let's do it.
About it.
Well, I heard about 3PAC, knowing you, working together. Honestly, dude, I heard about your brother like when he passed, right? I didn't even know you all that well, but I remember having a really strong reaction to that, where I kind of went and sat down and thought about my younger sibling and what it would mean to lose them. And it was heavy, dude. And I think I felt connected to you, even though I didn't even really know you all that well. And then obviously, got to work with Cheddar Mama, got to work with your girlfriend for a long time, and we shared an office for years. And the more that we got to know each other, the more that I learned about what your brother was sort of trying to put into words, trying to put into music. It resonated, right? And it's something, and like with all things, I think people when they reach a certain level of understanding or like life isn't all that complicated, and everyone is kind of saying the same thing, whether it's a religion or spirituality or sociology, psychology. At the end of the day, like, people are kind of saying the same things, because the key to life, or the keys to life, aren't all that complicated. And I think that the Zero Hoots sort of philosophy, the mantra, is powerful, man, and it's cool to see what it's done for kids, who maybe need a type of language that resonates for them, right? About not caring what other people think about you, doing what feels right to you, and that's something that we and it's infectious, right? When you realize like other people are just being themselves and are happy with who they are and they love themselves, that empowers you to do the same thing, right? And I think that's why like we all connect, right? That's why we're homies, and that's why I believe in this.
Good stuff, man.
Yeah.
C. Melendez,
what up? It was actually kind of funny how I heard about it. It was the time where I was probably giving the most hoots. I didn't even know about it yet.
Yeah.
Didn't know what a hoot was, but I was full of hoots. Pretty much we were BDRs, right? Obviously you worked with Greg for a long time too. We're working East Coast hours, like really brutal. We used to come home, we'd get in this routine of like pretty much just not doing anything. So we'd go to sleep early, wake up, go to work, come home, not leave, just be bummed about a lot of stuff. But then one day I remember coming home and it was the opposite, and Greg was actually stoked and he was watching your brother's videos, and I remember vividly it was the Ain't Stoppin' YouTube video, and he's like, dude, you have to see this. And I was like, what are you laughing about so much? And he shows me, and I was like immediately hooked on 3PAC. I was like, who is this guy? This is insane. And I knew the story, but I never actually looked into his music and stuff. So I guess what happened that day is we came home and it was the complete opposite, right? Instead of being this like negative, like ugly, like environment, it was us just laughing and cracking up, talking about like good times again.
Yeah.
So then I started watching more and more of his videos, and it was actually not only entertaining, but I started seeing that he did have a message to tell everyone. And like you said, it is really infectious when people are just being themselves. And when you're not like trying to be something you're not, it's easy. Mm-hmm. So it really brings it out in everyone, and that's how I was introduced.
Young Chucky.
What's up?
Chuck E. Cheese, son.
The young sack in the hat.
The young sack in the hat with the hat on, looking sacky.
The OG bucket.
The OG bucket.
Fresh off a munch.
Yeah, fresh out of a munch, feeling good. Welcome to February.
February.
Chinatown.
Spring in February and right down in Chinatown.
The China Club. A China Chang Chang.
So I got blessed with the ZHG movement by these boys right here, some of my good boys. And building off kind of what Christian was talking about, I kind of saw from afar what they were going through, and I knew they were working those brutal East Coast hours. And I was just sad because like I didn't get to see my friends like during the week. They were basically on lockdown.
Yeah.
And then on Saturday, maybe I get to see them, but Friday they were just like, no, not doing anything, just trying to catch up on sleep, which is impossible. And so then I think the first thing that I saw was probably the videos that they showed me. And I obviously pick up on their lingo, so I was like saying deflect before I really knew what was behind that. As soon as I saw one video, I think I had a pretty similar reaction to what Christian, maybe not in the same way, but I mean, it made me laugh first and foremost. I think anything that makes you laugh, they've already done their job there.
Yeah.
Keep it light. And then once I learned the actual story
behind. It was something that I already at face value enjoyed. Just that's something our group of friends, we obviously take a lot of things in from other groups, and we like to repeat stuff and deflect and don't give hoots is a good mantra.
Yeah.
And then I still hadn't even met you at this point, basically the godfather of the movement.
Yeah.
And then once I met you and like I learned a little bit more about the actual story behind it, I think we went to your house and you were just, we were playing, what was that, beer night at your house on a Sunday? Like all of us were kind of hungover and like we were in a bad spot just mentally, and then we were like, why are we going to let this get us down?
It was a day just like that.
And it was a day, we started throwing the dot at your house, crushing some beers, we went and hit the bats.
Yeah.
We took some pitches of softball.
That's true.
And that was like kind of the first time I hung out with you and got a taste of just who you are and the person behind, the man behind the meme, so to speak. And I don't know, so from that moment on, since I first watched the video, then learned some more information, it's definitely something that I try to support. Greg called me out because he nominated me for a battle cry, and I had this crazy idea for what I wanted to do, and he's like, dude, no crazy, just execute.
Yeah.
We wanted results. So we did that. We're spreading it. So
Execute the plan, son.
execute the plan, son. So I'm just happy to be a part of it. Want to spread it as much as I can because I know what it means to you, and
Yeah.
like Miggy said, just resonates definitely. So spread it.
Straight
ZHG.
up. Loose
Yeah.
goose.
It's a
The
goose,
goose
son.
is loose.
Always, son.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to keep
Awesome,
it short and
nigga.
sweet, baby. God, where did it all start? Well, geez, I mean, it was the first job. I was motivated.
Yeah.
I really wanted to make shit happen. And manager at the time, who I didn't know was your best friend, you know, I let him know right away. I was like, hey, I want to be the best BDR you have. You know, how could I make that happen? So the next day, actually, he pulls me aside. He's like, Greg, come with me. Opens up a door into a conference room I've never been. There you are, dude.
Yeah.
There's fucking Will. Look straight in the eye. He's like, Goose, you got Florida, son. You're gonna work with Will, son.
Yeah.
This is your boy. He's gonna get you to where you need to be.
Yep.
Of course, I didn't know what to think. Who does? You know, it's first reactions.
Yep.
I was excited. That's all I knew. And you were just like, Goose, let's come over to my place and let's grab a beer. Let's get to know each other outside of work, because that's gonna be great for our relationship.
Yeah.
I cruise over to your spot. You show up with a fucking 49ers vest. We got the grapefruit skull pins, aka skull pings.
Yeah.
And we're just chilling, man. You showed me your beat lab, and Slace was over.
Yep. That was good.
And then all of a sudden you're like, hey, I just wanna tell you something, you know, a little about me. And you started talking about your music, and then Ryan came up.
Yep.
And that was the first time I was exposed to ZHG. You played his videos. The first one I saw was Ain't Stoppin'. It hit me hard, you know, and then we were talking after, and, you know, we'd spend a lot of time after work talking about it too, and, you know, I always feel like I channeled Ryan whenever I was working for you, man. Like,
Yeah.
I sincerely wanted not only to do well for myself, but I wanted you to be successful too.
Mm-hmm.
And like every time I made a call, you were on my back and I fought for you, dude.
Nice.
And I feel like that was Ryan literally interchanneling like love and Zero Hoots. You know, when it all comes down to it, Zero Hoots, like if I could sum it up in one word, it's gratitude. Obviously it's easy for me to say, you know, because I have had a life of privilege. You know, I never really couldn't get anything I wanted. You know, my parents funded my tennis career. You know, I always ate good. I always, you know, got everything I wanted. But, you know, if you're grateful for it, I don't think you should feel bad for it.
Yep.
And, you know, just be grateful for every second that you have. Because, God, last fucking week we had rain. And people died. And people lost their homes. And no one expected it. And you never know what can happen to you next day. But if you're grateful for every second you have to live for, you're grateful for your family, you're grateful for your friends, you're grateful for the life you have, I think that's the strongest internal emotion that you can have.
Yeah.
And that's what Zero Hoots means to me.
Shano, the newest member of ZHG.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I have an interesting perspective just coming into it, just meeting you today. But, no, I mean, like, I can relate a lot to coming home early and just fucking hating life and working for a similar company up in San Francisco and doing that shit. But I mean, I follow all these guys obviously like on Instagram and social media and stuff, and like I'd see this Zero Hoot shit come up and I was like, dude, what are these guys talking about? Like, they just must be like having their own thing and like doing their own thing. And then like it would come up even more, and they like slowly started telling me the story. Like every time I see them, I'm like, wait, what is that again? They're like, oh, you gotta meet this guy, man. This guy, like, there's more to it. It's not just like we made up some new saying.
Yeah.
So then kind of today and this morning, I get all kind of tied together, and I was like, oh, okay, like this fool's coming over, we're shooting this documentary or whatever. And then like slowly this morning, I've heard like the whole story and everything, and I think the best word that I've heard for it so far is like infectious. Like I'm on board. Like I just came here, and like that's what it's all about, you know. And it's like, damn, it's a great story to hear, and like it's awesome to hear how much it means to you guys too. So when you hear people that you know you just met, you know, haven't seen in a while, and it's just like, damn, this is real, son. So good to be here, and it's great to meet you, man.
Appreciate it, dog.
Yeah.
Glad to have you on board.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, this is interesting because a lot of the people I've been meeting, I've been talking to, knew my brother when he was still making music. They followed him kind of on his rise. But you guys,
really?
Yeah, like the probably about 95%. Like I watched him kind of grow into, you know, star and then pass away. But you guys, like, you know, you came in after he passed away, you know, moved on. Like how, like you just kind of like, we'll just have a dialogue here. Like, what does it feel like? How does it feel, I guess? Like, like how does that feel?
I was literally about to make that same point too, that I'm pretty sure none of us actually knew him like that, right? I know you said you kind of knew about it at the time, maybe a little earlier, but none of us can say we've even obviously ever met him or anything like that. Yeah. Which is crazy to think about because I can't really explain that.
Yeah.
How does someone, like we have.
It feels like he's here right now, honestly. It feels like he's a real homie I've had my whole life.
That's
I don't
one
know
of the
how
parts about this is that I feel like it's keeping him, piece of him alive. Yeah. Just like how you always live on in other people from your family and whatnot, this is one aspect of it is just totally keeping him alive. And I feel like we have an interesting perspective because, like you said, we never met him.
Yeah.
But I almost feel like that's part of what's so cool about this is it makes you almost feel like you have, and obviously we wanted to, wish we could have.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever had a more vivid image of someone I've never met before. I know exactly how he looks. I know how his fucking legs like fucking look.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's not just his face. Like,
you know his pinky toe looks like shit.
I'm serious.
Yeah.
It's like I've never had such a vivid image of someone I haven't met.
As people realize, like, A, this kid's hilarious, he's talented, but B, like, he's just doing what feels good to him, and he wants to share that with the world, and whether you share it with the world or not, like, do what feels good to you, right? Like, be who you want to be.
I remember I wanted to write a hootless article on the website, and I was like, fuck, I don't know if that's even cool with like the rest of the people that follow all this. So I'm like, I didn't know Ryan, and I actually pulled you aside and we talked about it. And you're getting really excited because you're like, oh my god, you have to do this, because there's going to be a ton of people who I bet want to be a part of this, and they're going to feel like they can't be, and that's actually the complete opposite of what we're all trying to do.
Yeah.
You know, everyone's welcome to do this. I think we're all in life together.
Yep.
We all take pieces of each other, and you know, like I told you, take care of that too. So I guess like if anyone is watching this that obviously didn't know Ryan, it's like that's okay. His message still lives on. It's actually what he would have wanted.
Yeah.
And that's what's so crazy, you know, to go off exactly what you both said. No matter who you are, like the most privileged to the poorest, you can't hide emotions of happiness, sadness, shyness, jealousy. Those are all emotions that every single human feels.
Yeah.
But what centers you back to where you need to be? And what Zero Hoots is, it's not just a language, but it's a concept that, look, every human feels these emotions, no matter who you are. But what brings you back to the positive energy that you need to move forward?
Yep.
And that's what Zero Hoots means.
Yeah.
It's a concept to bring you back centered to where you need to be to execute the plan.
Yeah.
And everyone has a different plan, but whatever it takes to get there.
Yeah.
It involves deflecting the negative energy in your life.
Yeah, word, and it energizes you.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm about to watch Ebola's Hoot for the first time / my first 3-Pac video.
This one for Africa, son. Ebola,
Have you guys seen this one?
I've seen this one.
So ridiculous.
Yeah, because you don't like.
That's probably a good reaction.